guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over my favorite tool for maximum productivity as an entrepreneur who has so many tasks on their plate. So my favorite productivity tool is called Sunsama, and I have been using it for about a year now. I started using it when I was in college, and it has been an absolute game changer for me since I was trying to run all of my business stuff and all of my personal stuff and trying to do school. And what's really, really cool is you can integrate all of these different platforms into one centralized hub. Okay, so before we dive into actually how to use Sunsama, I want to go over some of the basic logistics. So what's really, really interesting about this platform is the amount of integrations that you have. So you can integrate anything from Google Calendar to your Outlook calendar. You can upload Slack messages, Trello, Todoist, Notion, Zoom. All of this stuff is automatically integrated into Sunsama, which makes it a nice synchronized space for all of your work. So you're not trying to use multiple platforms to keep track of everything you have to do with your personal life and with your business life. So once you have all of the integration set up, this is what the back end of Sunsama will look like. This is kind of the base hub. So over in the top left corner over here, you have the capability to just see a generic calendar for the entire month. Over here are all of the different days listed out with all of the different subtasks that you need to add into your calendar. If I move my face over this way, these are all of the different channels that you can set. And this is kind of what's key and why I love using this platform so much, is because you can set different channels based on business, personal, or any other major thing in your life that you want to separate out. So for me right now, it's just business and personal, and then I have all of these subcategories underneath there. Over on the right-hand side over here is kind of more of a focused view of your day. So whenever you scroll like that, you can see each day off to the right here. Over here on the right-hand side is all of the different integrations. So anytime you click on them, you get like a preview into what each of those applications are. So here you can get a preview into your Notion. I don't have Outlook set up, but I totally could do that if I had an Outlook. And yeah, that is kind of the basis of the platform. Up here is a calendar view, and you can set it to either 1 day, 3 days, just weekdays if you just want to focus on your weekdays, or an entire week. Typically, I don't use this view because I like to use my Google Calendar as more of a view. But if you want to look at it just day by day, you can totally do that over here. Or you can just look at it by the amount of tasks that you have to get done on that specific day. So now that we covered the basics and just a general overview of the platform, I want to dive a little bit deeper into each of the different things that I just talked about. So over on the left-hand side here is, like I said before, all the different channels that you can subcategorize each of your tasks into. And what's really awesome is when you click on each of these, you will just sort out those specific tasks for the day. So for instance, if I just wanted to focus on my influencer stuff, which is my brand OliviaKelliher, all I have to do is click on this tab right here, this tag right here, and it will pop up all the tasks that I have to get done within the next few days, just pertaining to that one label. Same thing with if I wanted to click on, say, self-development work. All I have right now is my German practice, and that's the only thing that will pop up. So this is really nice if you just want to hone in on one specific channel or one specific aspect of your life, just to get a better feel of how you're organizing it, what sort of tasks you have coming up for it, all of that stuff. So that's the channel section. I normally just keep it under all, that way I can get a good overview of everything, but you can totally customize it to however you want. Now, when you scroll down here, these are all of the different Google Calendar setups that I have. So I currently have my personal Gmail and my work Gmail all in Sunsama right now. All right, now let's go over how to actually plan out a day using Sunsama. So I've already planned out Wednesday and Thursday, so we're gonna scroll over to Friday and we'll just do a rough plan for Friday. So I've already set up a bunch of tasks that are reoccurring every single day in my life. So one of the things that I've set up is a morning routine for myself, and it has a bunch of subtasks in it with different time estimates. So let's move my face right here real quick. Cool. So as you can see, these are some of my subtasks that I do every single morning. These are what I call my dailies. And I just made a bunch of subtasks and I estimated how much time I think each of them will take. So for instance, making my bed, roughly give or take 5 minutes, checking emails, roughly taking 5 or 10 minutes, all of these things. And then what's awesome is at the top, under the entire category of morning routine, it will give you an estimate of how long that entire task will take with all of the subtasks. So for my entire morning routine, it takes me about an hour and 40 minutes, plus or minus half an hour, depending on, how much I actually get done with each of those. So these are my dailies. These are the things that I do every single day for my clients, for myself, for my personal life. And what we do is we go over to the calendar tab here, and it will automatically populate events that are in your Google Calendar as well. So I have this one event in here that occurs Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Central Time. So it'll pop up right in Sunsama. That way I know, hey, I can't schedule anything during this time, and I don't have to worry about overlap or anything like that. So if you ever have any Zoom meetings with clients, they'll automatically pop up in your Google Calendar, and they will also automatically pop up in here. So when you're planning out your day, you're not overlapping anything. So how do we actually go about planning the day now? What's awesome about this tool is if you hover over any of the tasks right here and just hit the X button, it will automatically add it right to the calendar. You can also drag and drop it if you want. I like using the X for the most part. So we're going to go down and do that with all of the tasks, all of my daily tasks. So now what we're going to do is go over to Todoist, to Gmail, and to Notion, and just drag in certain tasks that I want to get done for the day. So let's say we're going to do holiday gifts for family. We'll do sign up for onboarding. We'll do create freebie with resources. I'll also drag in an email. We'll drag in this one, and we'll drag in a Notion thing. So before I actually drag this in, I want to show you guys how to actually use the Notion tab, because since Notion is a database, or since Notion only has the database option on Sunsama, it can get a little confusing and convoluted if you're using it for the first time. So what I like to do is you obviously go to whatever page, whatever database that you're trying to reference from, and then you can just hit the filter feature, and it will automatically let you filter out what specific content you want to put in. So for me, I normally just use Notion to help me plan out my personal content and my clients' content. So I'm just going to filter it by, let's say YouTube video. And then we'll just drag and drop whatever YouTube video I want to put in for that day. So we're going to go back over to the calendar tab, and then we're going to click on each one of these and schedule how much time we think it's going to take, and we're going to associate a channel with it. So say we're going to do create a freebie with resources. So we're going to estimate that this might take me, let's say, an hour and a half to get everything that I need to get done with that freebie. So we planned out an hour and a half. We're going to associate it with just business. Actually, we'll do it with OliviaKelliher because the freebie is more for my influencer side. Start date, we are going to pick Friday. Now, if you do have a bunch of tasks come up, you can also snooze it a day or a week or just to the backlog as well. The backlog is basically, here, we'll just show you the backlog real quick. So this is the backlog. These are all different tasks that I have to get done, but I have just kept pushing aside, and then eventually they just get pushed over to the backlog. So this is really nice, so you don't have to keep stressing about stuff, and it's more just like, hey, if I have time, I will come back and work on all of this. So that's the backlog if you want to use the backlog. I have not really tapped into the backlog much because I have so much stuff on my plate already. If it's a multi-day task, you can also set it for a specific due date. You can also add subtasks, And if you want to just delete the subtask, just hit the backspace button. You can add in notes, add in comments, which is really, really nice as well. And then all we're going to do is take the task and just drag it to whenever we have free time. So I'm going to put it at, let's say, 11 o'clock. So what's really cool about doing this is once you estimate the time out, it'll give you a way better understanding of how much you can actually get done in a day. So many of us overestimate like how much we can do in a day, when in reality we have so many tasks on our plate, and having a tool like Sunsama is amazing because it gives you a more realistic accuracy of what you can actually do in one day. And then you can just plan out the entire week and you have all of your stuff set up. And if you don't get to it, just move it to the backlog. That's what I do. So we're going to do that with all of these real quick. Okay, so now that we've planned out the entire day and dragged and dropped all the different tasks that I wanted to get done that day onto the calendar, Sunsama will tell you how much time all of this adds up to. So a total work day with all of these tasks, doing everything I wanted to get done, will take me about 6 hours to do. Now, personally, I have it set in Sunsama so that I don't work more than 8 hours per day on just work stuff. Personal stuff doesn't really matter. Personal tasks are different. But with just work stuff, it'll take me about 6 hours currently. So I can add in something else if I want and wiggle it into my schedule where it works. You can also set up different times of the day you want to stop working. So if I automatically populate different business tasks, it'll give me a warning saying, hey, you can't add anything else in because you stop work at 5 o'clock every single day. So that's really, really nice. And then it'll just auto-populate those over to the next day as well. So what we're going to do is hit the next tab. And say I had some tasks that I'm like, I really don't want to get done on Friday. Just move them over and I can do them the next day. So it's really, really nice to do that as well. If you realize, hey, my work is way over the allotted time that I want to do, just drag it over to the next day. And what's awesome, like I said before, is that once you upload everything into Sunsama, it will automatically populate in your Google Calendar. So say I have a meeting coming up at like 4 o'clock, then Gmail will send me a notification on my phone 15 minutes before saying, hey, you have a meeting coming up at 4 o'clock. And it does that with all of these different events that you put on here. That way you're staying on task throughout the day. So another thing I want to talk about is this concept that Sunsama came up with called weekly review. And Sunsama will basically outline your entire week and show you how much time you allotted for these specific tasks and how long it actually took you to complete them. And then over on the left-hand side here, it will outline how long it took you for your specific channeled tasks. So most of my time was actually spent doing personal stuff last week rather than doing business, which only took up about 5 hours. So yeah, that wraps up this video talking about Sunsama. If you guys have any questions, please drop them in the comments below this video. I would love to get in there and answer all of them. I will also be coming out with another video within the next few days where I talk more about the integration aspect. So how I use Notion, how I use my Google Suite, how I use Sunsama and Todoist, all of this stuff together just to be way more productive in my everyday life. So let me know if you have any questions and stay tuned for that next video. Bye guys!